How we doing, YouTube? Today is the 9th of July. I'm here making a monthly recap for the month of June. So, to start, let's see, let me run through my notes real quick. Let's talk about, let's start off talking about what didn't go my way last month. Just pulling up my monthly P&L. So, June 1st to the 30th. Okay, so for the month of June, we were down 0.75%. So let's talk about what didn't go well in the month of June. Let's see. So in June, we took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trades. No, 11 trades. So some setups that I wasn't too proud of in the month of June. Was this one on BBAI on the 11th. Let's see, when was that? Okay, so I took BBAI right here on the 11th. This was something that I wasn't too fond of. Number one, because I don't think it was ready yet. Also, I remember the volume that day being distinctively pretty low, and that just was clear signs that BBAI was not ready at the time. Let's see what the negatives were. Yeah, so it wasn't ready, not enough volume on that day. Also, at this time, leading up to that, I believe. Actually, no. Nothing was particularly not going my way, so never mind. Okay. EVLV. This is another setup that we took on the 11th. Let's see, where is that? On this day right here. Which actually, I didn't mind this setup. Maybe it needed a little bit more sideways for sure, but at the time, pivot seemed pretty damn clear to me. Uh, but yeah, I would say it just needed more time. So that's that for that setup. Let's see. Let's some couple 8+ opportunities that I felt like were a good sign that maybe the market was just not there yet. So ALAB on the 11th right here. At this time, all it looked like was this. Sorry. Let's go to one chart real quick. So I took it on the 11th, this day right here. So once this started not to work, I was a bit hesitant because, in my personal opinion, this was a 5-star opportunity. Semiconductors looking good at this time. Which was this? The 11th. The 11th. Yeah, AVGO was flagging. Nvidia was also flagging and just climbing higher. TSM was also flagging and climbing higher. So once this didn't work, I should have kind of just been more hesitant. Although I didn't even lose that much in June, I still just should have just been weary about, just not taking random ass setups. Let's see, what I took serve on the 12th. Where's that? Okay, yeah. So serve was also another one where I'm not disappointed in this. I thought this was a pretty decent opportunity. Although it wasn't really close to 52-week highs, which in my opinion would be like a 5 5-star setup, like a 10-star setup on a 5-star scale. But a good setup nonetheless that ended up failing as well. Mind you, at the time, I think everything has been up loads since the 11th. Let's see. The 11th is right here. So the Nasdaq up 32% with no real pullbacks. Maybe these short little pullbacks, which could be signs of strength that we want to continue higher, and obviously that is the case. But we only had one 20 SMA touch so far. We have been bouncing off the 10 pretty nicely, maybe a little bit undercutting too, and then just continuing higher. So that's another thing that I shouldn't have. I should have been wary of. So let's look at also at TMC. So now this was a bad execution on my part. So I took TMC this day here, and then I believe there was war talk on this day right here. We'll talk about like Iran launching missiles and all that stuff that's going on over the seas. And I didn't want to risk over the weekend exposure because I believe the 13th was a Friday. Yep. And turns out it was not a good decision. And of course, hindsight is 2020. But I think in reality, I just didn't accept the risk that I put on, even though I didn't even size in that heavy. So that was just a mental mistake right there. I should have stayed in, and of course, hindsight is 2020. But I didn't even risk that much. I risked 0.25% of my account because up to this point, I wasn't doing that well. So I was paying attention to that. I was not getting the best response or follow through on many of my positions. So yeah, should have stayed in that one. That's something I'm not proud of. Also, what's another one? Let's see. Yeah, and then a bunch of just, in my opinion, pretty good 5-star setups that were just failing. Like we took SEI on the 26th right here. Ended up stopping me out at break even just for it to end up climbing higher, but in an ugly way. INOD was another. I wouldn't know if it's a 5-star setup, but pretty choppy. I took this on the 26th. I got stopped out the first time, then re-entered off of VWAP reclaim, and it ended up, closing really strong this day. But as you can see, there's no real momentum. Uh, Another one was INQ on the 30th. Let's see where that is. The 30th, right here. Yeah. So at this time, I'm pretty sure all of Quantum was relatively flagging. So yes, RGTI ended up climbing higher. QUBT, something I took this month, which also is continuing to just base again. This still looks good for the future. Uh, Anything that I'm proud of in what you would call it? Let's see. Uh, June, nothing particularly. I no, nothing crazy. I didn't really take any wins. Actually, AVGO was just holding me over. Same with AEVA was also holding me over from taking any particularly substantial losses. I was paying for a bunch of my paper cuts. Other than that, I've actually been on a pretty decent losing streak, which I should be very wary of. Right now, I'm currently in AVGO still from this day here. XMTR from, let's see what my average is. Sorry, I gotta actually edit that. Let me fix that. XMTR 3444. 3444. So, yeah. And then PRCH, which has just been climbing higher, but no real momentum. It's been really ugly. So yeah, no real traction for me in the month of June. Let's see what else. What do we have to cover? Key takeaways. Honestly, my only key takeaway is, I mean, I should have held this. I should have accepted the risk, and then for whatever reason, I haven't really done this in a while. And I know I've touched on it in previous videos. I should have just accepted the risk, you know, and uh, yeah, that's something that I guess obviously is still lingering within my mental makeup. Definitely got to work on that, but it's okay. Other than that, let's see. Some stuff that I missed this month that were kind of annoying. It's actually coin because I was looking at it. I think on like up until let's go to the one chart slot. I was looking at it like right around here, and I was like, okay, this thing is starting to flag. It's finally starting to touch the 10, which is what I primarily look for because I feel like if it doesn't touch the 10 and it goes, that's something I'm willing to miss out on because I feel like sure it could be signs of ultimate strength, but in my personal experience, stuff like that fails. And then I missed it on this day here, and that's something I'm not very proud of because I was looking at this. It's not like I just saw this and I was like, oh fuck, like of course I missed this. No, I was literally looking at it and I made the mistake of brushing it off after I didn't take it on this day right here, and I also didn't take it on like this day. I started to just brush it off. I was like, okay. So then I saw this right here, and I was like, it's probably not looking good. Reclaims, then puts in an inside day, which is perfect. And then, I mean, declining volume was crazy. The volume pattern was absolutely perfect. Damn near a 5 star. The only reason why it wouldn't be like a 10 star out of a 5 star scale was it wasn't at 90. It wasn't really close to 52-week highs. Close, but not like 90 or 85 or plus 90% there. Now, of course, it obviously is. But yeah, that's something I'm pretty upset about missing out on. BKSY is another thing I was not too happy about missing. But the reason why I don't care too much is because I actually wasn't looking at this. I think I saw it around somewhere here, but I don't really like to trade these deep pullbacks and then like a nice recovery into a flag, like sort of low wedge type of setup. I like for it to be already at or near 52-week highs. Now, obviously, it's relatively near there, but yeah, that's something else I probably am not too happy about missing out on. Uh, so yeah, for the month of June, my statistics. Let's go look at my TradeZeller report real quick. Last month. Whoa, hold on. Okay, so for the month of June, I actually took profit on AEVA, so it's kind of skewed, but my trade win percentage was really low, about 15%. My average win loss per trade was 19.37. My profit factor was 3.23, and that's only because I took a big profit on AEVA at like 21 average, and then took a bunch of paper cut losses, of course. But yeah, just to go over it again, for the month of June, we were negative 0.75%, just coming off a 8.3% month in May. And then this month of June has also not been too good for me, which is okay. Past 3 months we're up 7%, but yeah, it's still early in July. I'm not too worried about it. Right now I'm down 0.48%, but we'll get to that for the July recap. Other than that, there's nothing else to really say. I will say some things I'm very proud about is a little less susceptible to overtrading. I'm kind of like I'm okay with missing out on opportunity or so-called opportunity because I don't think everything's a setup, and I'm kind of glad that I've grown past that. And now I've just been kind of only trading what my setup. Haven't really been paying attention to the outside noise. It's been nice. I've been dealing with the FOMO a lot better. But yeah, hopefully we get some traction this month. We'll keep trading our edge. I would love to see a nice cool down in the market so that these positions actually see follow through. Because right now the market is showing us opportunity, and it's very selective on what actually follows through. But other than that, there's nothing else much to say. Thank you for watching the video. This was a pretty quick one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you.